guys, this is Bobby with Bobby Stamps, and this is going to be a video to show you my first card for June's free make and take packets. I do this every month. I offer this. It's all the information is on my blog, but how it works is if you spend $25 shopping with me on my online store, you earn one free make and take packet, and if you spend $35, you earn two, and if you spend $50, I will send you all three make and take packets, and everything is always included that you need to make the project. I don't send stamped images, that's against Stampin' Up! Policy, but I do send you the cardstock to make all the cards. So this is, like I said, this is the first make and take packet. So I'm using all the new in colors that is available, or will be available on June 3rd. In the new annual catalog. So this is Magenta Madness, my favorite of the new in colors. I absolutely love it. I was able to pre-order 2 packs and I've already used like a pack and a half. That's how many I have gone through. So then you'll also get a piece of Whisper White that is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have a piece of the DSP paper that I'm going to be sending you to. And this is cut, I believe it was 1.5 by 4. I'm pretty sure that that's what I cut that at. And then I used the new framelits that is from one of our new bundles, the Touches, oh, I can't think of the name of it right now, but I am using them again, so just stay tuned to the next video and I'll make sure I look up the name of these dies. Tasteful Touches is the stamp set, and I think it's Tasteful Dies actually is the name of the dies. I'm going to use Granny Apple Green ink, and then what I'm going to do is pop out 2 of the flowers using the Timeless Tulip punch, and then I'm using the Timeless Tulips stamp set. But I'm going to run the 2 flowers through the Ornate Floral 3D embossing folder to get that little bit of texture. Can you guys see that there? Okay, so that's how I'm going to make that. And then I'm using, this is retired, no longer available, but I have a whole nother roll of this. I love this ribbon. It's the Granny Apple Green Textured Weave ribbon. I love that ribbon. And you'll get the ribbon as well. Okay, so let's just go ahead and we can start our stamping. I think actually what I'm going to do first is I will pop out my tulips. And I'm going to grab my ruler because I don't remember the measurements. Oh, here's one right here. I don't remember, and I was going to tell you, this is like a perfect fit. This is 1 1/2. This ruler, I have such a hard time reading it because it's like a clear ruler. And it just throws me off. It's not like my normal one. It's 1.5 inches wide. And if you just line that up right there, you're not wasting hardly any of your cardstock. Can you see that right there? That is all I'm going to waste right there. And then you can just trim it off, your waste there. Move this out of the way. And we'll do it again, because we need 2 of them. So right like that. And if you line it up perfectly, you're not going to get a lot of scraps like I just did. Okay, so there's our tulips. Let me move this out of the way. I'm going to grab my Big Shot. Okay, and let me, I don't think I moved that far enough away. Don't want to set the Big Shot on those. So I'm just going to grab the embossing folder. And it doesn't really matter what way I put them on there. We're just doing it for texture. So there you guys go. Can you see how that turned out? Okay, move this out of my way. Then we'll bring in our piece of Whisper White. You can kind of stage this if you want to just kind of see, but I just kind of eyeballed it. Didn't make a very big deal out of it. I just kind of went in the middle is what I did. And I didn't stamp, I didn't ink up much past the bottom because I didn't want that to be like hanging off the paper. So I'm just going to ink up just like that. And then I'm just going to have kind of one going in this direction. And then I'm going to do the same thing. And I want this one to be a little bit smaller, so I'm going to, or shorter, so I'm going to move it down. And then move that out of the way. And then I'm just going to take one of the little petals. It doesn't matter. And I just kind of did one of these little things, just like that, something like that. Okay, I'm going to leave that open and grab the sentiment, and we're going to stamp it on this Granny Apple Green label that I punched out, or die cut out. Hope I got that straight. I kind of did it sideways. I wasn't really paying attention. Okay, so then let's go ahead and grab some dimensionals. I left mine across the room. Okay, so we'll just pop a few on there. Make sure you're putting it on the right side. And then you can kind of just lay them on there first to see where you want them to go. And this one, as you can see, I had them a little bit closer together, and I'm fine with them being separated like that. I can even, if I want to, I can scoot that one down. I can even do something like that, and I think I will. I think I do like that a little bit better. So that's how I'm gonna place them on there. I want them to be a little bit closer, kind of like that, I think. Let's go ahead and put the DSP on the bottom, and that'll also help us know the placement. Okay, so let's go ahead and just place that right there. And I probably should have stamped it up a little bit higher, it looks like. So let's just move these up. That's all we have to do, is just move those up. But I do kind of like that where there's nothing showing. So I should have stamped up higher, you guys, but I didn't, so it's gonna be okay. Okay, move this one off, and then we're just going to stamp this, or actually place that right in the center like that. And I'm just trying to see if I want to move that up. I think I am going to move that one up. Okay, so I'm just going to put that one kind of there. It's still pretty. I like the colors together. And we'll put this one, I'm just going to turn that one now like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and grab our ribbon, and boy, I am out, aren't I? Let me just cut that off. And we're just going to place this right like that. And you can lower it. I just like something to cover up the divide of the DSP. And then I'm just going to grab some tape and just place it right there on the back, like that. Line that side up. Just make sure you have everything as straight as you can get it. And then put that piece right there. That just kind of holds it in place until we get it on. Make sure I have my card going right. And if you have some of the, excuse me, the enamel shapes, that would be cute to put around and in between. But I was in a card swap and I used almost all of mine, so I didn't have enough to send to everybody to put on their card, so I didn't want to use any. Okay. And this I could have placed down a little bit lower as well. It looks like when I designed the card, I did a really good job, but in demonstrating it, not so much. Okay, now I'm trying to figure out, you guys, my measurements. So I'm just gonna try one of these. I'm just gonna put this right in the center, and then I'm just gonna tie a knot. So I'm just going to pull on each end until I make a cute little... This ribbon, I really, really, really wish it wasn't retiring. Okay guys, here is Make and Take packet number 2. And I just love this, all the new in colors I just really love. And I love the Tasteful Touches stamp set as well. There's just so many beautiful images, and the font I am crazy about. It is a very, very pretty stamp set. So our card base is Misty Moonlight, I believe is the name. I hope I'm right. I'm pretty sure I am. Learning the new ink colors is always a challenge at the beginning of a new catalog. I have a piece of Whisper White that's 4 by 5 1/4, and then I will be sending you a piece of DSP that is 4 by 1 1/2. And we're going to stamp, and then I also again used that label from the Tasteful Labels dies. So I'm just going to kind of put that right there where I think I'm going to want that. I've got my little feather. I'm going to use Crushed Curry and Night of Navy ink. We could not use or could not pre-order the inks, so it made it a little bit hard to coordinate, but you just kind of worked with it, what you could do. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp my image. So that's why I'm kind of placing this here, and then you can place your label kind of. I wanted mine there, so I'm going to move it down a little bit. Not sure what I got on there. Probably my fingerprints. So, and you can always, move it over to the left or to the right. So let's go ahead and stamp the sentiment first. That way that can kind of give us a guide. And then we want to stamp it down pretty close to the bottom. So that way if we do need to move that DSP, we have room. So we'll kind of move it down like that. And then I'm going to just go ahead and stamp the blue feather. I started to say leaf, since I already have my blue ink out. So I'm going to stamp that and just pull that off there. And then on the Whisper White cardstock, we're going to stamp off, because I want a lighter image than this one. So I want it kind of faded out. So I'm just going to stamp off on that piece of scratch pad. And then I'm just going to kind of move this over that way and hope for the best. So if you kind of line it up and eyeball it before you do it, you're okay. Because you can kind of see. Now I'm going to clean off the feather, because we're going to go in lighter with Daffodil Delight now. So let me move that back. We can close up Night of Navy before we stamp something in it that we shouldn't. And then this one I'm just going to ink up in Daffodil Delight. I'm going to move this out of the way, and I'm going to stamp this one up just a smidge higher. Okay. And then you're just going to cover both of those up like that. And then we'll bring this one in here in just a minute. And you can move this if you want it up higher, if you want to line it up right there at the bottom. It's however you want to do it. Ooh, about threw mine away. So I'm just going to use some Tombow. And I'm just going to line that up right about there. Okay, and then I'm going to flip this over and grab some dimensionals. Probably 3. Okay, and then you can kind of play with where you think you want yours. And I'm just going to leave mine like that. I like it like in the middle, lined up at the bottom down there. Okay. And we will just line that up right there. I'm going to grab my card base, put some Tombow on the back. And we're just going to place this right in the center of the card. Right in the center of the base, okay? And then I sent everybody, or will be sending everybody, 2 of the In Color enamel dots. And I think those are, yep, those are the ones right there, because I almost used all of them making up the packets. I like to make them ahead of time, so that way when people place orders, I just have to get them where I store them from and put them in the mail. I don't have to cut them all up at once. Let me see if I can grab that. So I'm just going to put one right there in the corner. And then let's just try to grab this one. And then I'm going to put one right here in that corner, okay? And that is it for the second Make and Take. These enamel dots are so cute too. Okay, so this is Make and Take number 2. I will get ready to show you the third one, and it is by far my favorite from these. It took a lot of work to do everything that had to be done to everybody's packets, because usually I like to keep these easy so I don't have a lot of die cutting, a lot of embossing, and I had die cutting and embossing on the last one, so get ready. It's my favorite, guys. Okay guys, here is your third Make and Take packet. Absolutely love this card. So this would be, if you spend $50, you'll receive this one. So let me just show you again really quickly. This is Make and Take 1. Spend $25, you're going to get this card. Spend $35, you're going to get both Make and Take packets. And if you spend $50, I'm going to send you everything you need to make all 3 Make and Take packets, okay? Put those away. So for this one I chose the Field of Flowers stamp set, and this does have a border punch that coordinates with it, but I decided not to use it on this card. I'm using the Bumblebee cardstock. It is gorgeous. And then I used the Stitched Nested Label dies. I used the largest and the second largest for these 2 frames. So that is these 2. And then I took a piece of Whisper White and ran it through my favorite new embossing folder. This is called Old World Paper 3D embossing folder. And look at that. Can you guys just see the gorgeousness in this? So you know how we used to take our paper and crinkle it up to try to get this? You don't have to do that anymore. This does it for us, okay? And then again, I used those same labels, the Tasteful Touches label dies, to pop this out so I can stamp my sentiment. My card base is Bumblebee, like I just said, and it is 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. I'm going to place my piece of Whisper White cardstock that has been embossed, and when I do the embossing, I like to use Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue, just because I know it's going to give me a very strong hold. We have new adhesive that is going to be available on Wednesday in the new catalog. It's it's Stamp and Seal and Stamp and Seal Plus. And the Stamp and Seal is going to replace Snail, and the Stamp and Seal Plus is replacing Fast Fuse. Okay, let's go ahead and move these out of the way, and we'll go ahead and do our stamping. Okay, let's go ahead and we will open up our Old Olive, and I'm just going to ink that stem up right at the bottom, stamp it right in the center. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and grab the little label for my sentiment, and make sure I have it the right way. And I'm going to ink that up in Old Olive as well, and this says Thinking of You. I hope I get it straight because I'm trying to keep my head back out of the camera. I think I did okay. Now let's go ahead and ink up the flowers using Daffodil Delight ink. And then I'm just going to pay attention to my stems and just push down. Okay. Pretty good. I could have got it just a smidge lower, but I'm not going to worry about it. Then I'm going to take this and pop it up on some dimensionals. You can use however many you want. I'm just going to use 4. Don't want the video to be a half-hour long, since I'm doing all 3 of them at once. And then you're just going to center this right in the center of the larger one. Okay, and then you can pop it up on dimensionals. I just chose to use Tombow because it was already popped up. And then we're just going to put this right in the center like this. Grab some more Stampin' Dimensionals, probably 2. And then we're just going to center this right about, let's let's see, right about there, I think. We're going to take this gorgeous bumblebee ribbon. This is gingham ribbon. I love it. It's beautiful. We're going to tie a very, very small bow. And I already tied your small bows for you because I didn't want to send... I got glue on my finger and it's sticking. I didn't want to send a tiny strip of ribbon that you would struggle with trying to tie your bow, because to me, the smaller the ribbon, the harder it is to tie your bow. So I thought, well, I'll just tie them so that way they don't have to fiddle with it, and it's not a piece of ribbon they're going to get frustrated with and not be able to tie the bow and just throw it in the trash. So I'm just going to snip these off, and then let's just see if I need to snip them more, if I'm going to make it smaller. I think I'm going to make it just a smidge smaller. And then I'm going to cut these off just a little bit more. Not too much, just a bit. Let's see what that looks like. Yep, okay. Grab a mini glue dot. So let's just pick up one of these mini glue dots and then just place that right in the center like that. How cute is this card, you guys? I absolutely love this. I love, love, love this card. I am in love with the embossing folder. I'm in love with that ribbon. I love this stamp set. I just think it's so cute. Okay guys, thanks for watching my video, and if you haven't, please make sure that you subscribe to my channel, hit the like button, and if you are interested in earning your free make and take packets, just place an order with me, $25, $35, or $50. And there is a hostess code associated with this, and it's all on my blog, guys. Thanks so much.